Hello and welcome to Good Times with Alex and Ryan. My name's Ryan Sprague. My handle for all my social media is at Ryan W. Sprague. Alex, how about yourself?
My name is Alex Vanover. I am a producer for a radio show and a co-host, and I like to have a good time, so I'm glad, we're going to collaborate in that. And my social media handle, I'm at Vandollar15 on Twitter.
Yeah, you got a pretty good one too, a pretty good following going on there.
Oh yeah, I'm in the 1,000. I'm in the 1,000.
Hey,
Yeah.
I think I hit 200 and then I kind of stopped doing it and it kind of died down to like 130.
Oh yeah, have you ever have you ever looked at your followers and you're like, okay, I had 1,052 today, and then you look the next day and you're like, wait a second, I lost 3 followers. What could I possibly have done to piss 3 people off in the last 24 hours?
That's probably why I don't have a lot. I don't really obsess too much about that because I'm looking at them like a lot of these people just want me to follow them back, but I'm just kind of on here enjoying it.
Yeah, the follow for follow thing, I used to do that when I first started, but my timeline would just be filled with garbage. I would literally have the weirdest political takes and the weirdest just comments on stuff that I enjoyed, and I'd be like, I can't do this anymore. I'm either gonna mute them or I'm gonna just unfollow them because it's just garbage.
Garbage.
Yeah, garbage.
That's kind of how we got reconnected too. I was just on Twitter, and all of a sudden he's like, "Hey, you got to follow me back," because I had your old Twitter, and I was like, "Who's this?"
What happened was, I bet you were following my Facebook. I actually got rid of Facebook and all that stuff about 4 or 5 years ago. I don't know. I just felt like as soon as I turned 30 years old, Facebook should go bye-bye because my grandmother and her sister also had Facebooks, and her friends had Facebooks. So I felt like maybe I was just a little too hip to have Facebook anymore. I don't know.
Too cool?
I was too cool for school at that point.
Ticker.
Yeah. I was like, I don't want to have Facebook. Do you remember when Facebook had... you had to be in college to have a Facebook. Do you remember that?
Yes. I remember. I didn't sign up for the longest time, but in college, they were like, "Hey, Ryan, you got to sign up for this new thing." I'm like, "What's that?"
I held on to MySpace until the last day. I absolutely loved the top 8, and you get your own little music and your little banner. I taught myself how to do HTML so I could put more pictures and bedazzle the living hell out of that page.
Man, I think MySpace really missed out. They could have been Facebook. I just remember getting a MySpace account, and I'm like, "Who's this creeper, Tom?
Why is he in my top 8? I don't even know who he is."
Yeah, so I was following your other Twitter. It was like your comedian account or something, but then you popped up, and and that kind of snowballed into us doing a podcast together.
Yeah, we had talked about it for a while. Definitely, this is going to be a lot of fun.
Maybe we should get into how we met. I really don't remember how we met because it was in elementary school. We're both from around Coos Bay, Oregon, a city called North Bend, kind of in the same neighborhood. But I think it had something to do with Josh. But
I can tell you exactly where we met.
Okay.
I was 12 and I was on the Rangers Little League baseball team, and you were also on the team, but I think you were in 5th grade. And your dad, who drove Winston Cup and was Mr. Winston West around, Oregon big time, would give us rides, home from Ferry Road Park, the game or whatever. And our team was actually pretty good, but you and I, at that point in our lives, weren't very good. So the highlight of the day was that we would get to go to Ashworth's and get some ice cream. Your dad would take us to the store before we went home. So I would literally look forward to these baseball games so I could get a ride home with you guys so I could get ice cream.
Wow. I don't remember that at all.
100%.
I remember the Rangers. I remember the coach. I remember at one point I was pretty good at hitting and connecting. And then my eyesight went bad and I was horrible.
Yeah, that was a tough team. We had I'm pretty sure we got 2nd place. Our team was good. So it was not a situation where being an awkward, overweight, loudmouth 6th grader for me was going to help me get on the field because everybody else was really good. It was just a really tough situation. But I got ice cream, so it was all good.
You got pretty good later on. I remember you hitting them out of the park a lot.
Well, yeah, when I got junior high, in high school and stuff, I hit my fair share of home runs for sure.
Yeah. Not bragging or anything.
No, it was just like one of those situations. Have you ever sucked at something and you're just like, I don't want to be bad at it anymore, and you just get this laser focus and you just really take some time to just develop that craft? That's what I did for the most part. My dad would take me and we would hit like a bucket of balls like almost every day. Yeah.
Oh, that helps.
Yeah, I was tight. Like with your wiffle ball set you had in the backyard at your parents' house.
So I wore that thing out, and it didn't help me at all.
Didn't you have that tee, like the wiffle ball, like you could put it on the tee, or did the air push it up? Didn't the ball actually lift in the air and you could tee off on it?
It shot out little wiffle ball golf balls.
Yes. Okay, I remember it. Yes.
And then you had like a bat that was the size of a stick.
Well, if I can hit a baseball with a broom handle, then I can hit anything. Is that the thought process with that?
I think it was, but it didn't work.
Yeah, I'm going to go up to the plate with a broomstick, and then I'm going to swing at ping pong balls. And this is totally the same thing as hitting a baseball.
Yeah, so from there, what was it, high school? Or we kind of hung out with Josh a bit and did some basketball, or I don't remember.
We used to get together with like Tommy Lindahl and Tommy Nguyen and Nick, Andrew Fowler and those guys, and we would usually play football at the high school on the field. So, and then we would like go to lunch somewhere afterwards. So that was about your sophomore year, I believe, and my junior year. But when we really became tight again was definitely when we started playing paintball. Yeah.
Yeah,
and I remember. Oh yeah, you had a gun that literally would launch like 15 balls with one finger touch. You had an actual. What was that called? You had a hair trigger on a paintball gun.
No. It was absolutely ridiculous. So I found out how I could get the paintball fully automatic.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It would shoot so fast. I could turn it up so fast that it couldn't get the balls through. It would bust it in the gun. So I remember one time we were playing and like Chris, he goes and hides and he keeps shooting, and then I just spray the area. He's like, okay, I'm hit. Okay.
Do you remember when we were playing paintball and Chris, I'm pretty sure you were on his team.
Oh.
And something happened. You made him upset, so he shot you. He eliminated his own teammate.
So we were. That was right at the beginning when we started doing that. We got the CO2 cartridge ones, the little CO2 things, and those little cheap guns,
the blades.
Yeah. So okay. So everybody was like surrounding us. We were the only two left in the team. We're in this trench. I'm moving backwards so you guys don't come all the way around me. And he's following. He's like, what are we doing? What are we doing? He got mad because he didn't know what we were doing. So he's like, and shoots me because he thinks he just didn't want to play anymore.
No, he was seriously like, had no competitive spirit at all. No sense of teamwork. Just I'm in it for myself and screw everybody else. I was embarrassed for him.
And then when we got back to like Mackenzie's place, he found a tick and he fainted the same day
in the bathroom. He fainted like a sack of bricks.
Oh goodness!
And seriously, like the only thing I was worried about was like, well, Chris fainted. Everybody's upset and worried, and it's like, well, yeah, okay, he fainted, but when are we going to McDonald's? Like, kick his ass up and let's go to Mickey D's. He's trying to ruin my day. Let's go.
McDonald's or bust.
Yeah, seriously. It's like I'm like looking at you like, okay, he's screwing my mealtime up. This is the problem.
No, I had a lot of fun with you guys because Mackenzie's group and all that. I just remember feeling a little left out at one of the dances because I was like, hey guys, can I be in the picture? And he's like, no, it's only for the original.
What? Who said that?
Mackenzie.
Oh
like,
my god!
It's only for the original. So I'm like, oh
man. Wow, he can't. That's a hot take. Why didn't I say something? You were just as much a part of that group as anybody else.
I know. I don't know. It hurt. It hurts. Again, we're still talking about it today.
Isn't that funny when somebody says something to you? that they think is like not that important or relevant, and it strikes a chord with you and it motivates you or upsets you it's in a way that you never let go of it. Isn't that interesting how little comments like that can do that?
It's so crazy because that's so, yeah, exactly. It isn't a big deal. Who cares? But it's like,
but it kind of is. It kind of is. Yeah. It's, when I first, so a lot, 10 or 15 years ago, I had lost 100 pounds and kept it off for a while. But I remember I was playing basketball and one of our friends made a comment to me that like, oh, you're too fat. You can't guard me or something. He said something like that. And literally, I was like, all right, that's what you think? I'm going to prove you wrong. It was like literally, and he forgot that he ever said that to me. But I would literally fixate on it every time I went to the gym.
No,
I just used it.
And I myself have said some pretty mean things too.
Who hasn't? When we were in high school, you used to work at your grandpa's glass shop. And I remember us staying up I'm telling you, we would stay up till 1 o'clock in the morning and you would have to go. Because during the summertime, you would work at your grandpa's shop Monday through Friday, like doing a real job. I know because I did that job.
It was like 40 hours.
Yeah, you're doing like 40 hours. You're like hauling, pieces of house. You're screening stuff. You're building screens. You're cutting glass. You're doing all this stuff, sanding, everything. And you would literally just like look like you were gonna die.
Is that really? I don't. No. I just remember being exhausted all the time, but I really wanted to hang out with friends.
You would get done. I'm serious. You would get done at like 4 o'clock. You might go have Sizzler with your grandparents, and then you would you would come straight to Mackenzie's house because the glass shop was really close to Mackenzie's house. Yeah. So you would go straight to Mackenzie's house. We'd play Super Smash Brothers till 3 o'clock in the morning, and then you'd go back and do the glass shop again. It was unbelievable.
But I thought that I had a problem. Like, oh well, I guess I'm gonna just be tired the rest of my life.
Yeah, you were.
I didn't know. Oh wait, maybe I should get some sleep.
Yeah, you were just like Arnold Schwarzenegger. You should have just slept faster.
Sleep faster.
Yeah. If you want to sleep more than 6 hours, you just need to sleep faster. Then, little girly man, you could be the governor.
Yeah. So eventually, my dad was like, "Dude, okay." I'm just going to have to make a rule. You need to be in bed at 10, or home at 10. Because I didn't. And I'm like, oh, well, this is helping a bit. I guess. Because I was angry when he told me. Like, oh, man, I want to hang out with my friends.
I do remember this. How long did that rule last? Did that last the rest of the summer? Or
I think it did. Yeah.
Well, that was a real problem because you were one of the only people with an actual decent car. So that also. You had the big orange truck.
For a while, yeah.
But I just remember that caused an issue because it's like, okay, like we just eliminated Ryan from the entire. So now we don't have enough people to play Super Smash. Now we're a car short. Now we don't have enough people to play paintball. Your dad screwed everything up.
I didn't remember that because I wasn't there when you guys were.
No, you'd be doing the stuff where it would normally take 5 or 6 people, and now all of a sudden we're one man down. So it just threw everything off, and we're not inviting Jimmy or someone like that because they're just going to screw everything up.
Jimmy,
yeah,
Jimmy.
Jimmy was in high school. He was so interesting. He got dumped by a girl. This is a true story. He got dumped by this girl. I'm walking from the gym through the courtyard at the high school. Jimmy's coming the other way. And he's got blood all over his hands. Like, he literally is jacked up. And I said, Jimmy, what happened? And he's like, oh, this girl dumped me. And then she said she broke up with me. So I decided I was going to punch my hand through that window. So he punched his hand through one of the, windows at the high school. That's, how I was introduced to him, basically. Because I didn't hang out with Jimmy.
That's how you met him?
That's, one of the ways I met him. I started thinking he was just a ding-dong. Every time I would see him. I just thought, wow, this kid is doesn't have it figured out. He also, one of the other times I saw him, he was dressed up in a girl's dress off of State Street with the girl who dumped him, and he had a sign that said, "We'll work for kisses" or something like that. But it was just the weirdest. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't even know how we became so close. It's like one of the weirdest things ever.
Yeah, I just remember once a group of us went and kind of TP'd his car, and then he was going to call the police on us. It was like for a little, like, okay.
His mother, like everybody had TP'd everybody else's, like pretty much anyone that we hung out with had their house TP'd. And he was like, no, you're not going to TP my car. Like, no way that's happening. So he told his mom, and his mom's like, I'm going to call the cops on you if you're trying to TP my son's car.
Oh goodness. Yeah. So like I'm doing this this thing where I'm trying to get a really good time in running. And then I see Jimmy, he's doing like 2 hours and 30 minutes for a marathon.
Yeah.
He is insane.
He's really fast. Yeah.
Wow.
I used to live with him, so we would run together. And I think I was doing like 8 to 8.5 minute miles, and he would run like 4 or 5 miles with me, and I don't even know that he would break a sweat.
Yeah.
Like, I'm serious. He didn't even look like he was sweating.
I can see it. He's intense.
Yeah, he's just one of those guys that like he was built to do that sport. He has a really good cardiovascular capacity, that's for sure. His VO2 max must be off the charts.
Yeah, it must. Alrighty. So I think that's good for this episode. We kind of want to know what everybody's thinking as we post this. Just give us some comments on Twitter. Let us know what topics you want to hear. What you got going on? Anything, Alex?
Yeah, I definitely want to have some comments and some. I live for notifications. I need them, Ryan.
Gotta have them.
I have to have them.
Alrighty. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Catch you next week. This podcast